Hello, everybody. My name is Mina Rickey.
And I'm Lidiya Korjak.
And today we interviewed Clint Coons. He is an attorney and one of the founders of Anderson Group.
Anderson Advisor Groups.
Thank you.
He is the founding partner with a Toby.
What a guy. He is so polished, so well spoken. We went to his live event and we spent 3 days talking about tax and asset protections. I mean, how do you do that unless you are a very interesting, good storyteller individual that understands the topic well enough that you can make it very simple for people to understand what is the message that they are trying to tell the folks.
That's right. So if you have an opportunity to either go to his live event or go into his webinar, go and listen because he will teach you different strategies, asset protection, plus charities, and also how to not avoid paying taxes, but pay a little bit less taxes than normally you would.
Or depending on your necessity, you may want to be paying more and showing more income because you're trying to grow. It's just when we hire an accountant and the accountant tell us, well, what do you guys want me to do? And we can say, well, we want LLCs and then we want a land trust. I mean, we can tell him everything, but unless you have somebody that is also an investor that understands where you are and can understand and spend the time to understand where you want to go, unless you have that as part of your team, it's going to be really hard to actually get good advice.
That's right. So what I like about Clint is he's an investor himself. He has over 300 properties from single family to commercial. He even talked about his, property hacks, how to do it correctly. And any investor out there who wants to start investing, I strongly advise you to contact Anderson Group. They have different programs where you can sign up with them or at least get a consultation with them.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I didn't know and I'm going to start doing is to show up to their online training video. He says that he brings his team to those online, it's free videos, and you can just go in there and start asking questions. And he says that his team will answer 1,200 to 1,500 questions. That's really impressive. And I know it's a good business strategy because that's how they get to teach people and show people how they can help them. But it's also, it requires so much work and just putting yourself out there. So I heads off on those guys for showing up and trying to educate the nation on what is the best strategies for real estate investors. There is so much misconceptions when it comes to taxes. Everybody thinks whatever they want to when it comes to taxes. However, they teach that the tax code, and that was one of my big takeaways, tax code are just a guide to tell the investor how does the government want you to proceed, what kind of paperwork, how do they want you to work inside of your whole enterprise. And I never thought of it like that, but basically that's what it is.
That's right. They want to work with you. So a lot of people think, oh, IRS is there to get us. Well, if you follow those codes and you build your strategy of asset protection, even your entities, build your entities properly, then there is a chance that you will pay very low taxes. It's all how you structure it. So definitely, contact them and have a conversation with them. Mina, I had an interesting experience the other day. I was showing properties to a family with 2 kids, and we had 10 to see. After viewing about half, the family was getting pretty hungry and they really just wanted to continue the other day.
So, what did you do?
I went to my car and pulled out a bag of delicious Rickey Jerky. They loved it so much they were able to continue our day without any issues. All the ingredients are 100% natural, plus every strip is seasoned, marinated, and smoked by hand to give you the best experience and slap you back into the gear. but I need to buy some more.
Oh, just head over to rickysjerky.com and use the discount code, the code REI, for 15% off your first order.
So whether you're a busy real estate agent or just looking for mouth-watering snack on the go, Ricky Jerky got you covered. Yeah, one of the biggest thing that for me was takeaway was when we talked about an LLC, and he mentioned about if you are a flipper and you put a property under LLC, make sure don't reuse that LLC. Close that LLC and go open up another LLC. Because if down the road something will happen, they can go after you with this LLC, but now it's another property. So it's like you are basically taking, how he was saying, dirty clothes and reusing it over and over again without washing it or getting rid of it. So it's one of my aha moments because I work with the many flippers and I was a flipper as well, flipping homes. And that's one of the things that I learned from them that made sense to me to close it, go open up another one and do your flips.
For me, another thing on the LLCs is that I thought that by creating LLC, I was putting a barrier of protection on me. However, it has to do also with how do you file your LLC. Like if you go to my LLC, you can see still my name and my address, but that's not a whole lot of protection. If you have a professional to do it for you, then they will put on their name and address as the administrators of that LLC. They're making it a lot harder for people to find you.
That's right.
And it's funny that I say that advice because I actually try to find landowners to buy their land. However, if you're not wanting to sell, there are ways to let me know. I don't want to sell. I don't want you to know who I am. I don't want you to find me. And this is how. And believe me, once we start going into land trust and things like that, we give up. We just like, if this guy doesn't want to be found, let's don't even bother him.
Yeah, that's right. Land trust is another beast that it is besides charity. Charities, oof, when he touched that, it was big.
Yeah, that's a big topic that we didn't talk about in this conversation. That's why I do recommend all my friends or my family, all those investor ladies, if you're making a lot of money in your W 2 and they went into debt on how to do this step by step. If you're making a lot of money in your W 2 and you're paying 40% or in the high 30s on income taxes of your whole income, what are you doing? There are ways to mitigate that, like short-term rental property where you actually show that you have been working for at least, I believe it was 100 hours. I don't have my notes with me, and that was a couple months ago. But there are specific strategies that you can tap into so you can preserve that income that you are making. I mean, it's taking you a lot of work and hard work to make that money. My sister is an RN in Dallas and she works nights. And I know it just takes everything for her to go to work. And then at the end of the year to have to pay high 30% to the IRS of everything she made, it's really sad because there are ways to avoid it.
Correct. So, like I said, we're going to put information down below how to contact Anderson Group because they're not just an attorneys. They do have CPAs and they have an extensive team that you can talk to and they can help you with any and all questions.
And until the next one,
be blessed. Bye-bye.
Bye.